So, hey guys, how are y'all? I hope you will be fine. So, I will start with the new series. The series name is What If Naruto Married with Mashiro Shinna. So, this is the first part of the series. So, do not wasting any more time. Let's start this video.
It became midday and the solar shined strongly upon the park where a blond-haired guy sat on a bench, resting as he watched the children mess around with their parents. The fellow have 3 whisker marks on his cheeks comparable to that of a dog, cat, fox, depending on the only who is staring at, and deep crystal blue eyes that can position the sea to disgrace. He has a gold-formed earring on his right ear handiest, and a green highly priced searching necklace around his neck. He gave the impression of a delinquent at the start look. Ouch! One of the youngsters tripped and started crying. His mother quick took movement and cheered him up with an ice cream which made the child break out and smile. The blond-haired man smiled at that. He felt a few jealousy and bitterness in his heart, however suppressed it. He was already bypast the age where he wanted his family the most. He can stay fine on his personal. He did not want them, not their acknowledgments, no longer their praise, and without a doubt no longer their love. Sighing, he appears at the sky and couldn't help but experience something strange. The sun is presently in its high, which means the time in which he must experience heat the maximum. However, he wasn't feeling hot. In reality, he should even say it turned into a piece cold. Nothing is real. The appearances are deceiving. It became as though he changed into in a dream. I opened my eyes and registered the familiar scenery of my room. A dream? After I recalled what took place in my dream, I'm able to handiest smile wryly. Excellent. I will now even realize whether or not I'm in a dream or no longer. I ponder if this commonly takes place to other people? It became then that I observed. I'm no longer on my mattress. I had slept at the ground. So it is why I felt a bit cold. I'm wondering how I fell from my bed, given that I failed to circulate that a good deal. As a minimum, I suppose so. Getting up, I can sense my right eye twitching whilst I found the perpetrator on my bed slumbering comfortably. Son of a bitch. Misaki-senpai, why are you snoozing in my room? If the wrongdoer was a man, I would have crushed the hell out of him, then named the ambulance, then beat him again when they healed. But fortunately it was a girl, so none of that occurred. The lady awakened and stretched. She became very lively for a person who had simply woken up. She then looked at me and declared, "Within the future, I want to be a housewife." Nobody asked you that. Welcome, domestic, pricey. You're home early. Now we're doing a simulation? Might, you want a dinner first? A bath? Or a loincloth? Loincloth seems like watashi in Japanese. Watashi equals me. Well, first, I would really like it in case you get out whilst I trade my clothes. A lavatory brush? So does toilet brush. Could you pay attention for a second? It is damn near impossible to have a conversation with this girl except you dumb yourself down through at least 10 years. She said she's gonna be a housewife in the future proper? It's particularly horrifying. I pity the fellow who will ought to cope with her regular for the rest in their life. Permits play a game. She hopped closer to my gaming console and began gambling. TCH, seems like I must use my unique pass. Jin-senpai. Ji-in. And he or she ran out of the room screaming her lungs out, tons to my comfort. That but did not remaining long after I checked out the mess she created within the short time due to the fact she'd woken up and sighed. Troublesome. Misaki-senpai is quite hot if she can just maintain her mouth shut and behave, which is pretty tons impossible to occur. Jin-senpai, I do not know if I must envy you or no longer, but I do recognize you're one hell of a pitiful guy. I want you the exceptional. Right, success and condolence. Kanda Sarada wasn't having an amazing day. The moment he got out of his room, Misaki-senpai came charging closer to him while screaming Jin-senpai's name. He changed into hit quite badly and became certain it'd leave a bruise on his frame for some time. Then, he saw his dorm supervisor going out of her room, carrying a very revealing clothes. Oh, satisfactory timing, Kanda. Sensei? Why is your chest practically naked? Cutting edge, our front right. The word ceremony manner, it is a social occasion for choosing up dudes. You are gonna make a flow on the learners? Do not be silly. There can be a wealthy, unmarried father inside the crowd. She then blushed slightly as she introduced. Even though, I would not thoughts creating a circulate on our blonde resident. Sensei, I'm hoping you visit prison. Besides, did she just change the difficulty? She simply did not she? Right here you cross. She surpassed the toolbox to him. After that, he become kindly requested no, ordered to move fix the dorm's sign outdoor. He first changed to his uniform and ate. While he finished he subsequently went on his way out of doors with the toolbox on his hand. He then noticed their blonde resident tossing a coin in the air time and again, while obvious at it closely. What are you doing, Naruto-san? Surely, he was quite frightened of the blonde in front of him at the beginning due to the fact he looked like an antisocial, but he quickly observed himself comfortable in his presence as soon as he'd gotten used of him. I am currently deciding whether to go to high school or now not. The blonde responded without looking at him. With a coin toss? I'm leaving it to fate. For a second you sounded quite cool there. If handiest it wasn't used for such nonsense. By the manner, Sarada. Are you able to toss this coin for me? The blonde gave the coin to him. Why me? Nicely, my luck is quite correct. Whenever I throw it, I always get what I need. Significantly? He becomes skeptical with his claim, however complied nevertheless. He tossed the coin within the air and slapped it to the again of his hand. While he removed his hand, it confirmed tails. Tails, which means I'm going to high school. Sarada flinched whilst he saw the blonde glare at him. Rattling you, Sarada. Why are you blaming me? It is due to the fact you cannot throw the damn coin nicely. So now it is my fault? The blonde's glare worsened if that became even possible. Are you announcing it isn't always? Sarada cowered underneath his gaze. And no. I am simply kidding. Sarada took lower back his words. There are instances when he's nevertheless scared of the blonde. Right now, turned into one of those instances, Naruto nearly had the urge to snicker when he saw the boy in the front of him nearly pee his pants in worry. It became a pleasant trade in a dorm complete of weirdos. What's with that? The blonde asked whilst he noticed the toolbox in his hand. Sensei asked me to fix the signal outside. Oh, need some help? I would really like that, Naruto-san. I am going to get overdue otherwise. Sarada might have refused his offer, however if he did, there may be an excessive risk he will get late. Crouching earlier than the wiped-out sign, they commenced their paintings in a relative silence. No longer even 5 minutes later, the silence became broken as Sarada needed to address the whispers directed in his and Naruto's manner at the same time as they repair the sign. Hey appearance, it's Sakurasu. Isn't that the region where they put all the trouble kids? Sarada stopped what he's doing while he heard girls talk about their dorm. That's right. That is Sakurasu, a place for Swame, a college for the arts-affiliated excessive schools trouble youngsters. Enough with the monologues and hold your work, Sarada. He failed to even pay attention what the blonde stated as he fell deep in his mind. In different phrases. Kohai-kun, Misaki-senpai opened the window to her room and declared, this time to the complete international. I appearance awesome whilst I'm bare. In different words, it is a loony bin. Now you are speak me out loud, the blonde stated. Room 201's resident, Kamiyagusa Misaki, January 3rd, 12 months in the Artworks division. She drew the story, writes the storyboard and did the modifying the entirety herself for an anime that was certified and turned large. Kamiyagusa, Misaki stats, room range, 201 measurements, B equals 87 W equals 56 H equals 85 kind, alien Kohai-kun. Do not run away before we get commenced. Be a man. Naruto Kohai-kun, there you are. Since you're right here you can be part of us too. Let's fly collectively right into a global of carnal goals. Carnal desires? And of them immediately? A threesome? The neighbors and passers-by nearly had a heart assault from the woman's vulgar speech. An steeply priced automobile stopped through the gate. A handsome bespectacled student got here out, making the ladies blush, and called out to his fellow dorm mates. Hey Sarada, Naruto. I'm home. Room 103's resident, the person that writes the script for Misaki-senpai's anime, Mitaka Jean, 0.33 to 12 months in the everyday department. However, I'll name you later. He then leaned forward and kissed the lady within the driver's seat. And is that a hoop on her finger? She's a married lady? He's like a Maharaja, staying out all night and coming domestic inside the morning. Mitaka, Jean, stats, room variety, 103 top equals 178 cm weight equals 65 kind. Grass player. He took out his phone and began looking his timetable. Let's have a look at. We're given the racing queen, Susan-san day after today, Rumi-san this weekend after she gets back from work, and she or he comes again from her honeymoon this weekend. A married girl? You are going to hell, Jean-san. Well, are you performed but? A fabulous horny trainer got here out the dorm and requested Sarada. Sengoku, Chihiro, an artwork teacher. Additionally the manager for Sakurasu. She's well past stage 30 and is desperately looking for a husband. Sengoku, Chihiro, stats, measurements, B equals censored W equals censored H equals censored. Question: why the fuck are they censored? A. They are too fucking horny and it's an excessive amount of for virgins. Type: Amazonas. I'm nonetheless 23 years vintage, I'll have you realize. Right, morning, sensei. The blonde greeted. Ah, Naruto. Chihiro's cheeks heated up at the sight of the blonde's sweaty parent. Howdy. Who's this cute and meek female? Weren't the bossy Amazonas from earlier? Sarada cried out. All Sakurasu residents' telephones rang. A lovable maid avatar showed up on display screen. Subject. Close up. From Akasaka Ryunosuke-sama has regularly occurring a challenge by means of S Incorporated to expand middleware for audio compression. He is very busy operating in this. If you hold to hassle him, I'll ship you virus or something, lol. Actually, Maid-chan 3. M. Maid-chan? Sarada Room 102's resident, Akasaka Ryunosuke. A 2D year within the Normals division who is additionally a settlement programmer working with large businesses. His automatic email responder which he evolved himself is an AI named Maid-chan. It's his handiest method of communicating to the outside world. Akasaka Ryunosuke stats, room range, 102 peak equals, weight equals, kind equals shut in appearances like all of us busy. You up for some other round? Jean-san asked the girl within the car. She's still right here? No. Then there is me, Kanda Sarada. A 2D year inside the ordinary department. I appearance normal, my brain's regular, and I'm nothing really worth writing approximately. Kanda, Sarada, stats, room quantity, 101 top equals 168 cm weight equals 58 type. Everyday Sarada, you and the rest, I am gonna pass take a bath. Naruto's blouse turned into moist with sweat and his chiseled body was visible via a piece making maximum women within the region blush up furiously. Good day there, handsome. The girl with Jean-san known as out to Naruto with a blushing face. My, what a lovely lady we've got here. Do you thoughts if I borrow a few towel? Naruto walked closer to the lady. I don't have any towel but I have a handkerchief right here. Thank you. Naruto took the handkerchief from her hands and wiped his sweaty face. Afterwards he reached for a pen and paper in his pocket, and wrote his range on it. He leaned towards her ear whilst he lowered back the handkerchief together with his wide variety and whispered huskily, Because you did me a desire, just give me a name, and I will do you very tough you would not be able to stroll well for weeks. The female almost had an orgasm from his phrases as she began respiratory heavily. Mitaka Jean-san almost cried animatedly whilst any other girl become captured effects through the blonde once more. He became devastated whilst he noticed her take a deep sniff off the used handkerchief, while she thought nobody turned into looking. Looks like he needed to remove some other one from his agenda, again. And, room 100's resident, Namikaze Naruto. A second 12 months and considered one of the largest thriller in Sakurasu, even extra than Akasaka Ryunosuke as. He's the only one in Swaime College who's both in Ordinary and Artworks department. Given that he additionally belongs to the Artworks division, he should have some extreme abilities he had yet to look. He is also notably and annoyingly handsome and might even supply Jean-san a run-of-the-mill in his area of information, while he felt adore it. Horrifying as hell at instances too. Namikaze, Naruto, stats, room range, 100 top equals 183 cm weight equals? He forgot. Type, delinquent, the last player, by way of Mitaka Jin, the final boss, by way of Kamiyagusa Misaki, KRR, that slut, Chihiro-sensei muttered below her breath, as she glared hatefully on the giddy female inside the car. She then smiled pleasantly at the blonde. Naruto, come see me within the college room at some point of lunch. I want you to do something for me. Additionally, you do not be past due at college. You're the one who'll make us late. Sarada talked returned to the teacher, who simply walked away without a care. Exact luck finding a husband, Chihiro-chan. Kohai-kun said he's going to marry you if you cannot discover one. Misaki yelled from the window. I never stated that. And also you. Don't display me that disgusted face. It hurts. Am I that repulsive, huh? Chihiro-sensei just hee-heed and persevered on her manner. Sarada clenched his fist an idea. And so, my present-day purpose is to escape from Sakurasu. You're not yet achieved with your monologue? Naruto asked with a sweat drop as he headed interior. The instant I entered the study room, all had became to me as they all went silent. Some stealthily shifted a little bit farther from me, and some even controlled their respiratory, no longer daring to breath too loudly, which is quite humorous. Properly, not that I will blame them, due to the fact I gave the impression of a delinquent, and I did nothing to lead them to think otherwise. In fact, I welcomed it. I hate formalities. It strikes a chord in my memory of them and several horrific reminiscences associated with it. That is why I made my appearance extra delinquent-like. I desired to split myself from the phrase formality, as an awful lot as I will. I didn't want to dye my hair since I am a herbal blonde. I just pierced my ears, and due to a few unique privilege that I have, I will even wear add-ons in college. The college changed into lenient, and might turn a blind eye as long as I carry out spectacularly in all my topics and crafts. That's of no hassle to me. I actually have a few tattoo in my body simply to show my factor. It is also the cause why I am in Sakurasu. It's an interesting vicinity complete of troubled children who had no regards for regulations and formalities. Mentally shaking my head out of those mind, I seemed round and determined my seat in front of a brown-haired lady. She appears acquainted, but I don't bear in mind ever meeting her. She's a looker. I would have identified her right away. My seat is at the frontmost part of the magnificence, simply beside the window. I was taller than my classmates, so I need to have been on the back. Why I was positioned in the front, I have no idea. I sat myself down my chair and greeted my acquaintances. On my proper was a mean-looking boy who you would without difficulty lose sight of in a crowd. Hello there, I'm Namikaze Naruto. Let's get along to any extent further. Why yeah, a louse. I'm Miyahara, with the aid of the manner, he added himself, albeit a little reluctantly. I can tell he's intimidated of me. Not that I care. Nodding, I grew to become to the woman on the again, who went stiff the second one she noticed me look at her. Hi there, I am Namikaze Naruto, exceptional to satisfy you. Aoyama Nananami. And exceptional to fulfill you too. Isn't always she being a piece too worried? She had greater response than anyone who's sincerely fearful of me. Bizarre woman. Nananami? Your call is specific. Ah. No, I imply, my call is Aoyama Nanami, a certainly bizarre lady. Sitting beside the female changed into a person I knew. Sarata? I almost did not note you there. You must talk up, dude. Naruto-san? Sorry, I'm busy contemplating approximately my aim. I see. I am hoping your aim isn't to kill a certain someone/relative. In which did that come from? Anyways, it looks like he is still monologuing in his thoughts. Another regular made bizarre via the intellectual organization referred to as Sakurasu. You guys understand every other? Mizuhara decreased down his shield while he noticed me and Sarada communicate. When you consider that Sarada's nevertheless alive after understanding me all this time, then he had no need to guard himself up. Was what I imagined was occurring his thoughts. Yeah, he is my dorm mate, Sarata lazily responded. You're from Sakurasu too? Nanami requested, a touch amazed. It's pretty amusing place after you get used to it. There's by no means a boring moment there. Sarada simply snorted. I could not agree more. Sakurasu is definitely dwelling up to it his name, huh? So when do you intend to depart Sakurasu, Kanda-kun? That question got my interest. You need to leave Sakurasu? I requested apparently. What a shame. The man geared up right and Sakurasu what together with his comebacks and so on. In contrast to you, Naruto-san, I do not have the mental fortitude to stay in that vicinity any longer. And I also sense like I do not belong there. Everybody's so brilliant, properly, anyone excluding me. Sarada compelled a grin on his face as he laid down his table. So it truly is how it is, huh? Authentic, for an ordinary individual like him, being surrounded with the aid of a genius like Misaki-senpai. A famous student script creator, this is Jin-senpai, and a quite admired programmer, Ryunosuke. He is bound to sense some inferiority complex. How stale. How disappointing. How uninteresting. Is that so? Too awful then. I haven't anyone to blame for my disappointment, however, myself. I should not have had any expectation of absolutely everyone inside the first region. I thought I've this lesson planted firmly in my mind already, specifically with my Beyond reviews. I nevertheless did it once more in the long run, despite the fact that unintentionally expectations, as soon as now not met, ends in unhappiness. As a result, to no longer get upset is to not count on but to not count on, where's the amusing in that? It truly is boring. Besides, can one even live without watching for? It truly is pretty not possible, no? I almost forgot. Nanami began digging through her bag. Right here, for the cats. She gave it to Sarada. Fish desserts? Funnily enough, I have a few fish cake in my call too. How many cats have you gotten now, guy? You picked up Greater, right? Yeah, 7, consisting of Hikari. I'm so pleased with you, dragging the once harmless ladies into your room one after some other. Don't make it sound lewd, Mizuhara. Seeing my seatmates interplay with every other made me a piece jealous. Jealousy. Such a common but ugly emotion, however, though a useful one. It feels ugly, yet it additionally tells you what you lack, what you needed, and what you need. Then it drives yourself to locate and acquire that which you desire the maximum. Buddies, huh? Well, I haven't any need to be jealous about, because I have a feeling that they'll come quickly. A sense that life turns into much more a laugh and exciting from now on. Naruto, you're sooner or later here. It's now lunchtime and prefer, she asked. I came here within the college, however there is something bothering me. Something I forgot to address to her because of the ruckus from in advance. Sensei, I forgot to ask, however, what the hell are you sporting? You're showing 60% of your brow. Rattling. If we have been the simplest ones in the college room and he or she's now not a teacher, I would have screwed her silly proper here, right now. I don't have any concept how she remained unmarried all this time. It must have been clean for her to get boys left and right. I was out hunting. Searching? She supposed that. I see. Any effects then? There weren't any rich, single fathers available. I used to be able to get a wealthy, married father's number even though. How desperate are you for a person, sensei? And also you call yourself a trainer? How'd you emerge as a trainer in the first place? Fufufu jealous? She asked teasingly. So it truly is how she desires to play it. Thoroughly. Two can play that game. Why yes, sensei. I leaned ahead, our face just mere centimeters apart. Her eyes widened and her cheeks had a tint of pink at my motion. In case you ever need a man, I'm proper here, you realize? My hand traveled toward her chest and buttoned her blouse up. This is private assets, sensei. No one but me can see it, understood? I heard someone spit their drink out and felt maximum eyes land in our route. Mind your very own enterprise, human beings. Why yes. She responded with glazed eyes. Ugh, she's too damned attractive and lovely. I bet it really is enough teasing for now. Any in addition and I might lose manipulative myself, and we don't need that happening now, do we? Properly, there may be some perverts here who wouldn't thoughts getting a free display, but screw them. So, sensei, what did you name me here for? She snapped out from her daze and glared playfully at being outwitted through me. How lovely. How can one be so attractive, yet cute, fabulous, and quite on the equal time? Here, she grumbled as she surpassed a photo within the picture. I noticed the child round 6 or 7 years antique. Her hair is blonde much like mine, and she changed into adorable like a doll. Is this an extended misplaced little sister of mine? Forestall joking you dolt. It is my cousin. I gasp as take a look at her. We are related? Sufficient with the jokes, Naruto. You're too smooth to tease, sensei. She's moving to Sakurasa nowadays. Her call is Shinna Mashiro, and she's been residing in England for a piece. Eh, kid shifting to Sakurasa? Lady, have you ever finally gone senile? Are you sure? Sakurasa is fun and all, however that vicinity isn't always exactly wholesome for a kid, you understand? It's harsh. However, it is genuine. Who is aware of what traumas she can get in her live on the dorm? Besides, she'll be in the front of the station at 6. Go pick out her up after school. Pleasant. Boss, Naruto. Eh? Hello, boss. I don't have any idea. The boss is right here. What's taking place right here? Boss Naruto-chan. Come right here. I noticed a middle-aged girl, a dealer gesturing towards me. Is she calling me? I pointed myself simply to ensure and saw her nod. I strolled towards the center elderly supplier, unsure why the hell is anybody calling me boss and what their intentions are. Suitable timing, boss Naruto-chan. We just completed baking any other batch of bread. I would really like it in case you take a few. I can best stare dumbfoundedly on the bag in my hand. There are 5 pieces of freshly baked bread right here. Thanks. Is that this poison? This would not be the first time someone used this form of method to get at me. I need to feed a few to Misaki-senpai first to check for safety. She's an alien, so her taste buds can stumble on poisons, and she's immune to it too. Probable. There is no need for thanks, boss Naruto-chan. We must be the one thanking you as an alternative. I am not positive what's going on. No need to be modest, boss. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be capable of promote our merchandise right here in peace. A center-aged guy got here. Probable, the girl's husband. K. I am formally lost right here. What the hell are they speaking approximately? The elephant gang had finally stopped bugging us. They not beat up everybody here and take protection prices from us. It is because you drove them out, boss. Now I recollect. I beat up the ones guys when I noticed them nearly beat up an elderly for no cause. Most of their members are nevertheless inside the hospital closing time, I heard, and have had to stay there for months. I used to be a touch bit harsh on them, however you need to admit they deserve it. You men should try this. I just did the proper issue to do. I heard them gasp as a glance of worship formed of their eyes. As predicted of boss. Such a righteous man or woman. We are unworthy. The people began looking at us even as the carriers persisted to praise me like no the next day. This is getting embarrassing. I'm outta right here. Mead. Get away, Speedy. Thanks, men. I would really like to spend extra time with you, but alas, I need to pick out a person up soon. Till subsequent time then. I straightway ran away, no longer daring to look returned. Come, through once more, boss Naruto-chan. Take a few fish with you subsequent time, boss. The elephant gang, huh? They have been now not the primary guys I've ever fought. I every so often beat up a few desirable for nothings here and thereafter the idea it's sensible to go mess with me. I also nearly disabled a few hoodlums who terrorize human beings with their energy, or effect. Wait. At this factor. I'm not just a delinquent, appearance alike are not I. I'm informally full-fledged antisocial. A actual one. Goodness. I've already been via many fights and I've handiest realized this simply now? What the hell have I been doing with my existence earlier then? Oh right. Combating and having a laugh. I took out a bread from the bag. I felt a touch horrific for suspecting that type dealer's motives. You may have my formative years to blame for that, for being a shitty one. It turned into some distance from great, and I would instead no longer reflect on consideration on it any more. I took a chew and savored the taste nicely. It is desirable. I'll be shopping for my bread in their shop from now. It is no longer 6, but so I would as properly finish the relaxation, while I look forward to the time to bypass. I locate myself sitting under a sakura tree, looking the leaves falling ever so lightly, riding together with the mild wind. I sense a smile tug my lips and I slowly closed my eyes. I'm satisfied I left them. I might in no way be capable of appreciate sceneries like this in any other case. I also wouldn't have a peace of mind. It's one of the most correct choice I've ever made in life. I in there. I'm like a caged fowl who can only longingly watch the opposite birds fly unhindered throughout the sky. Freedom is excellent. Huh! I snapped out of my thoughts when I heard someone walk in the direction of me. I opened my eyes and felt my heart bypass a beat. Status in front of me is a beautiful blonde-haired lady with a stoic appearance on her face, silently watching me instantly in the eye. Howdy. She started out. What color do you want to be? I used to be bowled over with the aid of her query. Never have I been requested that type of question with the aid of any individual the primary moment we met. After I saw her looking ahead to my answer, I composed myself and considered her question. I might have stated orange, but I do not suppose she's asking me about my preferred coloration. She's likely relating to my dreams for the future or the likes. Shiro/white. White? Although she failed to display a good deal emotion, I assume she become a little surprised with the aid of my answer. What? Approximately you? What color do you need to be? I've never notioned approximately it. However, right now, maybe. White. White too, huh? Similar, to your call then. This time I'm able to absolutely see her surprise despite the fact that she didn't show it that tons. I am Namikaze Naruto. Chihiro-sensei asked me to return choose you up. She did? What? I mean, didn't you come back to me understanding I'm the one who is selecting you up? She simply shook her head. Huh? Then, why did you come back to me? She just pointed at my face. Your cheeks. My, what? Kitty cat. What? Meow? Pfft. Ha! My God! I cannot agree with this woman. It is extra funny because she didn't seem to do it on cause. She appeared harassed approximately why I abruptly laughed, however I cannot assist it. What an interesting lady. When I recovered I reintroduced myself. Sorry for that. Once more, I am Namikaze Naruto. Exceptional to meet you, Shinna Mashiro. Naruto. It sounds quite. That made me boost a forehead but did not suppose an excessive amount of it. Her next words but absolutely threw me off shield. I really like it. Coming from her, I can experience she stated it without any ulterior motives. She supposed what she said? No lies, no flattery. Just the fact. Phrases spoken from the lowest of her heart. It made my cheeks warmness up a chunk. That day became a unique day. The day where I met a natural white angel below the shadow of a sakura tree. Welcome to Sakurasa! Misaki-senpai yelled. By the point me and Shinna arrived within the dorm, the opposite citizens have already made meals for Shinna's welcome celebration. The atmosphere in Sakurasa is very lively, which is satisfactory and all, but it's time for a spring onion and tuna hot pot. There's something geared up? Cross. Incorrect right here. Thanks for the food. Why, is there no ramen? I asked incredulously to the others who have already started ingesting. There are no longer sufficient ingredients for it, so suck it up, Naruto. Chizuru-sensei said. What did she say? Blasphemy. We cannot have any party without ramen. Doing so could be going towards the heaven. Are you trying to defy the gods? How does having no ramen flip to defying gods? Sarada. Talking of gods, I nearly forgot that Chiku-chan asked me to come secretly to the church this evening. Apparently she's a nun. Jin-senpai. You are certainly going to hell, Jin-san. Don't worry, Kohai-kun. There are not any gods who are a suit for my laser beams. You already know who that is. They may be no longer real anyway. Sensei.no true, my words are not achieving them. These humans are heretics. You can hold forth all day lengthy about the greatness of ramen and that they wouldn't understand a aspect approximately it. I should give up for now. I'm critically outnumbered. I will teach them the gospel one at a time to make it less difficult. Sensei, you are doing this on purpose proper? You are doing this despite me, right? It must be. She in no way forgot to make ramen in activities like this. She became her head away from me. I do not know what you're speaking about. I knew it. You're dissatisfied due to what I did in the school during lunch in advance, aren't you? Naruto San? Oh ho! I knew you were daring Naruto, however I never idea you have been this bold. Naruto Kohai-kun's children is in complete bloom as always. Your libido is unquenchable. You guys are absolutely misunderstanding here. No longer to say having grimy minds too. Now not that I'm one to speak. I cast an apologetic look to the dorm's new resident. Sorry, approximately that. Everybody's like this once a year for 1 year. Just say each day, and like you're any exceptional. Shut up, Sarada. I glare at him. Hi. Don't cower too easily. In which your spunk, man? Your spunk. What passed off to all that courage before? It's first class. Changed into Sheena's respond. Now then, time to show the anime I made to welcome Mash Iron. Misaki-senpai grew to become on the TV. Every person grew to become our interest to her animation. It confirmed a bunch of reworking spaceships firing missiles at each different, and plenty of explosions. With the historical past and her theme, her objectives are probable kids below 10 years vintage. No, who the hell am I kidding? That is Misaki-senpai. She does anything she wants and feature never even thought of who her target market are. I do not know plenty approximately animation, but I will see a few flaws and few unnoticeable awkward scenes, but all in all, it is thoroughly made. That's terrific, but what the hell is with the dub? Mashiro Nanan. We at Sakurasa had been anticipating you. Increase bam 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 boom boom. I am hoping we may be the first class of friends. Whoosh. Bam 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 boom. Fine to satisfy you. The Traces didn't an awful lot the animation in any respect. She simply desired to reveal off her work, right? How does that welcome her? You just desired to do a take a look at for your modern day animation. You tell her, Jean-senpai. You can say that. At the least deny it. Sarada, you're returned. So what do you believe you studied I have to repair? She asked Sarada. No, idea it became outstanding. Sarada regarded uncomfortable. What? It truly is it? You are pretty savage without meaning to. Misaki-senpai. And oh marvel he wanted to leave Sakurasu. See, he just got back up but now he's down again. Think, you could keep off the remaining explosion about 4 frames? Jean-senpai asked as he went closer to Misaki-senpai. Yeah, I was questioning that too. Maybe it comes a chunk soon. Sarada's getting increasingly depressed. Sarada. I have to help this fellow out, or I'll sense bad that I remained idle whilst there may be something I may want to have executed for him. Naruto-san? You know, each people have our own strengths and interests. Robust points and weaknesses. Misaki-senpai and Jean-senpai's energy lies in that discipline. You have not discovered yours, but it's why you ought to focus more on yourself and search it. You will discover it sooner or later. You just should work for it. He regarded much less depressed than before. I am happy my efforts are paying off. I might have wasted my time in any other case. You seem quite right at this, Naruto-san. Is this considered one of your strengths? Who knows? There is that mysterious act once more. It is not an act. The nerve of this man. I used to be positive which you have been purposely acting like that. Sarada. Sure, Naruto-san? Tell me how you need to die. Proper now. Hi. He ran away to his room along with his tail among his legs, clucking my tongue. I find Chihiro-sensei smiling surprisingly at me. Someone sure have their way with words. You parent that out simply now? Why, you already forgot what befell all through lunch. Rear? Sensei, your smile's becoming stranger and dare I say it darker. Naruto. Yes, Sensei? I'm banning ramen in Sakurasu for a month. What? What? You cannot do that, Sensei. It's my existence and soul. Then, say goodbye in your existence and soul this immediate. No. Naruto. Shina? You're interesting. If the scenario became any distinct, I'd have been flattered, however too bad for her. I am not. Groggily starting my eyes, I find myself again in my mattress. I lay still for a couple of minutes, and my thoughts started out drifting in the direction of our new resident. Seemingly, she's enrolling within the artworks division. She ought to have a few top-notch skills given that our school has excessive requirements as compared to others. There's something off approximately her though. I could not be absolutely certain but I can honestly experience she's a long way from every day. You could have the opposite residents accountable for that. Now, then. After fixing my bed, I headed down the kitchen to get a drink and noticed Sarada feeding his cats and Chihiro-sensei consuming an espresso. Jin-senpai and Masaki-senpai have just left for faculty seconds in the past. Morning. Naruto-san, excellent morning. Proper morning, Naruto. I almost gave her a grimy appearance. I nevertheless don't forget what you did remaining night time, sensei. Through the way, sensei. Are you able to toss this for me? I threw a coin at her. It really is. Sarada diagnosed the coin from the day before today. However, why? Sarada has shitty success. Hi there. Don't blame me for that. So, what is this approximately? In case you get heads, a way I do not cross to high school. Tails for going to high school. She appearance irritated at that. What's up, lady? I am irritated at you too, you understand? Look here, Naruto, you're a scholar. You are speculated to pass to high school each day. What about Ryunosuke? He is here all day long each day. He's a special case. Aren't I too? By way of the manner in which Shinna? I do not see her anywhere. She's nevertheless in her room. Sarada replied. Naruto, she calls my name with her not often used severe tone. To any extent further, you're not allowed to be absent anymore. I don't think the faculty permits us to be absent, however I still do it besides. I can't do that. School is so dull, and that I already found out this year's materials and the 1/3 years. Going there would be unproductive, no longer to mention, a waste of time. Heck, I even studied a few Boost College materials but didn't go too deep into it as I do not know what route to take. But you are going to high school. Are you listening, girl? And you are bringing Mashiro alongside. Oh. So that's what she wants. I guess I will show Shinna around and help her get familiarized with the college. Quality. But only for these days. Concentrate. You are the only who need to concentrate. You are bringing her along. You're taking complete responsibility of her and bringing her alongside. You're making a massive deal out of this. Suspicious. How about, sword I'm averting? He escaped. You, she poked my chest, are looking after her. From now on, is it just me or is she the usage of this danger to experience me out? Apprehend? Yeah. I am getting it. In case you don't, I am extending the ramen ban. Now, that one raised my motivation in conjunction with my hate stat. Rattling you, sensei. Seriously, that female is getting greater outrageous each day. I do not care if she's warm. Threatening me with ramen like this is sincerely unforgivable. I need to implement justice, like kiss her or something. Forestall that my dirty thoughts. Let's have a look at a spank or to the butt would not be enough to quell my rage. Whatever shall I do to you, sensei? I will think about it next time. For now. Shinna? I knocked her door 3 instances and waited for several seconds. Is she nonetheless napping? It's almost time for faculty. I knocked even tougher this time. Hello, it is morning. She didn't open the door or hassle to offer a response. I'm coming in. I opened the door simplest to come across an implausible scene before me. Her room is littered with garments all around the place. It's almost a sea of garments. You could not even see the floor everywhere anymore. Housebreaking? No, even a burglar does their work 10 times neater than this. How can one make such a mess in the first location anyway? Don't tell me she drowned below all this mess? Shinna! Howdy, wherein are you? I made certain to watch my step or I would accidentally step on her. I knew that she's unusual. My weird experience that I advanced because of my regular interaction with this dorm's residents was constantly sending me caution signals. Given that the day passed, I see her laptop still became on and those are manga making gear. She made this manga? I look at her paintings with scrutinizing eyes. The drawings are suitable, superb in fact, but the contents. They stumble upon each other of their manner to school, fall in love at the start sight. Then have become a couple in the subsequent web page. It's fast. They kiss and, that's the quit? No struggles, love rivals or whatever? The heap of garments underneath the computer unexpectedly movements on its own. It startled me a touch. I dug out those clothes and ultimately observed the only I'm searching out, curled up within the blanket and slumbering peacefully. Napping in the morning is right, however, if I see a person sound asleep even as I force myself on sleeping early within the morning, that's a no-no. It makes me want to go and percentage my fortune, so without further ado, I shook her up harshly. Even a heavy sleeper could be greater than conscious with that shake via now. Rise up, Shinna! It is almost 7. You will be overdue to high school in case you maintain this up. I am the type of individual who you will in no way need to be the only who wakes you up. The general public I've woken up start their day in awful moods, however, for her. I soften my method when you consider that it is nonetheless the first time. Fufufu, next time I might not be so forgiving, although she's sooner or later beginning to move. It is nonetheless 29:48 in the nighttime. It is 6:48 a.m. The school starts in 7:30 a.m. via the way. The sun will never rise once more. It's already risen? Do not be so negative. She slowly got out from her blanket, making my eyes widen exponentially as she stood up in front of me in all her glory. My brain unconsciously yet right away burned the scene deep into my mind and stored it beneath the future reference, an NSFW folder. My mind in the end started out running properly whilst all stated became executed. What the hell are you doing? Why are you naked? Why am I naked? That is what I want to know. She just tilts her head at me. There is something incorrect in you extra than I notion. Anyway, your garments, put on your clothes. You failed to get me any. It's scattered anywhere. Simply pick out one already. Then I don't want one. Stop proper there. You're going out in your birthday suit? You didn't get me any. Fantastic. Right here. Put on this. I became returned and calmed myself down after. I am no virgin and never been one for years. In truth, I've visible extra skin than humans my age or even folks that are twice as antique as I'm have in their existence. Jean-senpai have not begun to get just half as much action as I have. However, all at once seeing a lady naked in the maximum unexpected of instances in such an all-of-sudden close proximity from a girl who I might by no means have anticipated to do that ever. Let's just say that my shield changed into down, and was directly landed a clean hit instantly at my jaw with a totally powered punch from heavyweight world famous extremely good boxer. Honestly positioned, I were given wrecked. I'm carried out. I sighed in alleviation as I returned to he. Why are you carrying something like that? You selected it for me. I selected that? I asked disbelievingly. Standing in the front of me is Shinna, who's sporting a via night robe. It is almost no specific from her being bare. Naruto, pervert. If all of us a pervert here, that could be you, and I am harmless. I simply picked up one randomly. Of all of the clothes right here, it just needed to be that. Within the first place, why does she have something like that? I don't like this one. Do not put on it then. Chihiro-sensei. She must have recognized approximately this. She shoved all of the responsibility to me. That sly female. I took some other clothes from the ground and gently threw it on her. I paid greater attention this time and grew to become lower back once more. Sensei, you higher desire. I'm in desirable temper by the point you get domestic in any other case. Naruto, I'm achieved now. I observe her and nearly spit out blood. She didn't button her blouse and I will still fucking see her important components in complete view. You're no longer achieved yet. Button it up. Hurry. How? My God, how difficult could it be to get a person to put on garments? Just come here. I will do it for you. I felt like I aged drastically this very instant. Shinna is like an overgrown infant. How she lived up to now, I have no idea. Doing as she became informed, Shinna got here to me as I buttoned her shirt up. I did my first class to avoid searching downstairs. Naruto, you are good at this. Anybody can try this. Everyone. I cannot do it. Everybody but you. Looking after her could be very stressful, and to suppose the day is simply getting started. Black strange shaped on my head. You better pray to all of the gods available, Sengoku Chihiro. I'm now not letting you off easily this time. Kanda-kun, in which Namike-san? Aoyama Nanami curiously requested to her seatmate. The bell already rang, but the blonde-haired delinquent has but to reach. I do not know. Sarada replied, feeling unusually relieved nowadays. He felt like he just narrowly dodged a bullet. By no means could he have idea that bullet hit someone else as a substitute. Nanami simply stared at the seat in front of her, as she sighed. Here she changed into searching ahead to seeing a positive blonde these days. Too horrific he failed to come to school. I stared impassively at the sight earlier than me. I in front of the faculty gate are me and Sheena standing motionlessly there for 5 minutes already. After I went to get Sheena, she had but to take a bathtub, a breakfast, and her uniform is sorely in want for ironing. And do I need to say that she went and gotten her uniform wet once I ironed it for her? Furthermore, she broke the bathtub and also were given my uniform moist. By the time we got here, right here, it's greater or much less 9 o'clock already. The gate is close and there may be no manner the safety defend will open it only for us. Naruto, we're late. And whose fault do you believe you studied is that? TSK, I remembered simply now. In contrast to other schools, Swaimei University doesn't tolerate overdue comers, and that they without delay near the gate as quickly because the first period begins. The guards wouldn't open the gate to students and instructors even though they're simply 1 minute overdue, as ordered to them by means of the predominant. With my special privilege, I may want to have requested a shield to get permission from the essential to open the gate. However, doing so might be tough, and I'd as a substitute just passed domestic now. Any little bit of mood I have to pass to high school had lengthy since evaporated into thin air after understanding the catastrophe known as Sheena. I sighed and changed into approximately to depart when I noticed a protect with a baton status behind the gate, evident at me provocatively as if bold me to return inner. I suppressed the urge to go and supply him slap within the face. With my look, it is no wonder that the guards don't like me. I don't like them both, so the feeling's mutual. Still, he better be grateful that I have high staying power, or I might have sent him to clinic, given that I am not within the quality of moods these days. I heard a rumble from my facet and observed Sheena, who is presently keeping her belly. I'm hungry. We have been in quite a rush before, so we did not have a breakfast. We're nonetheless in late in the long run, even though. Permits go discover something to devour. I just desire she will be able to feed herself simply pleasant. Main her toward the nearest ramen shop within the area. We have been taking walks in silence as I discreetly eyed her from the corner of my eyes. Upon doing so, the sooner occasions came to mind. My intellectual image of her continues getting shattered with the aid of each action she made. I think that is one of these don't judge a e-book via its cowl scenario. She absolutely blew away all my expectancies of her, and made me flustered with none attempt. Who might have thought she could be like this? White, HM? You said so yourself? Why white? Is that this approximately the day gone by? What is along with her all of a sudden? It's because I don't know what to do inside the future, but so it is white. What about you? I do not know. By no means thoughts then. If you requested a question, the least you can do is think about a solution yourself. But I suppose there is no need telling her that. Oya? It is Boss Naruto. I simply heard someone call out my call from behind. You are proper. We eventually met him. Let's pass greet him. Boss Naruto. 2 delinquents ran over to us with smiles on their face. Those 2 exactly looks as if every other. The only difference is that the one in the right is taller than the one inside the left. Also, the shorter one is carrying an eyeglass. Good day. Who are you 2? Even though these 2's air of secrecy screams antisocial all over, they did not seem to have any malicious cause, so I will simply allow them to be and be civil. Additionally, what's with humans calling me boss nowadays? I certain am getting popular. Ah. Wherein are our manners? My name is Akihiko Daichi. The taller one of the introduced himself. And I am Akihiko Daigo. The opposite one followed proper after. So, what do you two need from me? I raised my fist a touch, threatening them a piece. In the international of delinquency, one should not display too much weak point or humans may mistake you as in clean choosing. Be boss, loosen up. We got here in peace. I see. I then narrowed my eyes at them. You failed to come here just to introduce yourselves, right? No, we came here to greet you, boss. And we would also want to request something from you. Request? Naruto, who are they? Shinna requested apparently. Her eyes held no hostility or wariness, simply plain interest. Come to think of it, she's now not anxious inside the least with my look. She's also now not afraid of those two too. They're the Dai brothers. They just introduced themselves, did not they? Why are you asking? Weren't you listening? Boss, name us Akihiko brothers. It sounds manner cooler than that. Are you ordering me round? I glare at them just like I to Sarada. And no. Daichi Dai brother sounds ideal. Daigo, I simply nod appreciatively at them. What a quiet girl. What's up, are you boss woman? Daichi, wait, what? What's up, do not be impolite. When you consider that she is the boss girl, we need to call her together with her respective title. Daigo, you are proper. Satisfactory to meet you, madam. Madam, you are so elegant and delightful. I will think of no one else greater suitable than you to be with the boss. This Daigo guy positive knows how to talk out flatteries. My right eye twitched. Shut up, you two. Do not let her appearance fool you. She's a long way from ordinary. Of direction. No regular woman can get the boss interest. Best, a unique female can take the heart of boss. No, you men do not recognize. Besides, she's not my female, so do not misunderstand. Naruto is my first boy. Eh? Naruto took my first time when we met Ultimate Night Time. What? In the 9 circles of hell are you announcing, Shina-san? Extremely good. TT, they simply met final night time, but he already took her first? As expected of boss. Do not pay attention to her, she's simply talking nonsense. I'm happy Naruto turned into my first girl. Don't pour greater oil to the fireplace. I'm having a tough time retaining it down as it is. Most effective new women lower back in England. Naruto is my first boy pal. Despite the fact that she said that, the seed of misunderstanding have already been planted deep in their hearts, and somewhat gave them a selective listening to ailment temporarily. She have been most effective with girls, she's a lesbian. But boss made her see the mistake of her approaches and became her boyfriend. As predicted of boss. Even the ones who have long gone via the incorrect path may be changed through the boss. Would you do me a desire and shut up, Shina? She nodded and moved closer toward me. So obedient. Just like a Yamato Nadeshiko. These guys are hopeless. Their false impression has risen up better than the Everest itself. I sighed and gave up changing their minds. Shina, you are going to be the loss of life of me. What's this request you communicate of? The two composed themselves and had a severe look on their face. They nodded at each other and bowed to me. Boss, please take us under your wing. What? What? Please make us your subordinate. No. It is fast. They regarded surprised at my refusal. What are you getting surprised about? Really, you didn't assume me to simply accept this kind of shady request out of nowhere, right? Might also we ask why? I narrowed my eyes at them and answered. To begin with, I don't know who you two are. Although I sense no terrible goal closer to me and Shina from those two, who knows what they do to different human beings. They is probably like those of the elephant gang who makes problem for others. There's also the possibility, despite the fact that most unlikely, that they are specialists at concealing their malicious intentions and that this will all just be a ruse to trap me out. Second, I haven't any hobby in that position. Despite the fact that these are easy, why might I go ahead and supply myself hassle with the responsibilities that comes from being a frontrunner? Third, I may seem like an antisocial, but I am now not one, so I don't have any intention in getting alongside you plenty. They look at me doubtfully once I stated that. Can't blame them. I hit it nicely, however, even I'm doubtful whether I'm an authentic antisocial, or just a look-alike one. But that pissed me off nevertheless. I'm able to listing out greater motives as to why, however, I believe this have to suffice, I stated as I took a keep of Sheena's wrist and we started strolling away, leaving the two delinquents deep in their mind. Boss, the shorter one known as Out. I didn't prevent taking walks, however I did appearance returned at them. What? Is there something we will do to exchange your mind? The taller one requested. A small smile got here to my face. If you could earn my belief and display me your sincerity, then I may additionally just consider it. I spoke back nonchalantly. Maximum delinquents might find this requirement too troublesome and simply surrender. Believe and sincerity? You intended that, right? If you may try this, I'll think about it. No promises, though. I purposely stated it in a manner that although they somewhat may manage to earn my belief and display their sincerity, it would not mean that I'm going to come to be their leader. It just supposed that I'm going to listen them out. In the event that they aren't deterred, but via adding the detail of uncertainty towards them, it will really make them surrender. Yash, simply look ahead to us, boss. We will simply make you change your thoughts. And the two cheerfully ran away. Once I saw their willpower, it made me sweat a bit. Did I simply make a mistake? The two weren't discouraged in any respect. In fact, they have become even more enthusiastic. Why, failed to you simply refuse them? Sheena tilted her head at me. Why, huh? She requested the right question, even though I ought to have simply said that nothing's gonna alternate my thoughts, but I gave them the one's necessities alternatively. I failed to do it without a motive, but delinquents are prideful by using nature. They wouldn't easily lower down their head to others, a whole lot extra, willingly ask someone up to turn out to be their leader. For them to go this a long way, whatever cause it'd have to be very critical, otherwise they would not must motel to this. I need to offer them a danger. I spoke back genuinely. They set apart their pride and asked me to end up their boss. What they did took far extra braveness than one might to start with consider. Now not everybody can try this. The least I'm able to do is to offer them that hazard. She stared at me for numerous seconds. It kinda made me conscious. She opened her mouth and said, "You're ordinary. You're the unusual one right here," I retorted. A few greater minutes of walk later, we finally arrived in our vacation spot. Welcome. A middle-aged guy who had just been studying a newspaper on the counter greeted. Mr. Menra, get us 2 bowls of ramen. Oh, it is you, Naruto. The usual? I nod. The same old is it then. He laid down the newspaper and began getting to work. We sat ourselves down near the counter. It certain had been one hell of a stroll. Even though the save is not far away from faculty, I felt like I have strolled for hours simply to get right here. I took the newspaper from the counter and commenced searching out something thrilling. Let's see right here. Guy castrated by using his spouse after he got caught dishonest. Rattling. I shivered when I read that. It really is one of the most harsh things which can manifest to a person. Genius. Lady quits professional painting. The art global is crying. I raised a brow at that. The art world is crying? Isn't always that an excessive amount of an exaggeration? Sheena began digging something out from her bag. What are you doing, Sheena? Manga. Ayano informed me to read some while I'm unfastened. Oh, proper. Sheena's drawings are proper, but the tale sucks. If she will be able to make a story on par with her drawings, there is no doubt she's going to be a popular mangaka inside the future. A e-book fell out of her bag to the ground. She became approximately to bend down and pick it up, but I finished her since it landed close to my foot. I'll get it for you. The e-book become open and there are snapshots of painting in it with descriptions beside it. I put it on the table and started out turning it to every other web page. Wow, these are lovely. Despite the fact that they're simply pictures of the actual thing, it nonetheless managed to pique my interest and amaze me. In reality, there may be part of me that became overwhelmed. It felt like looking at paintings made by using famous artists in the Renaissance duration. Thank you? Sheena stated. Huh? Why are you thanking me? I painted it. What? I observed the duvet of the e-book and my eyes widened after I noticed whose call changed into written on it. Sheena Mashiro. Genius girl quits expert painting. The artwork global is crying. Those phrases came to mind. I grabbed the news and read the rest of its content material. Genius of the contemporary arts, Shinna Mashiro. Incredible, this woman is truly breaking up my expectancies and impressions of her. However, she's breaking it in a certainly suitable manner. She's a genius like Misaki Senpai and the others. But she isn't always on par with them. Shinna Mashiro is on a whole another level. My mind and interest have been on Shinna. I barely even noticed that the ramen turned into already served. I focused my gaze on her, proceeding on figuring this woman out. That is delicious, she said after finishing her third ramen. Completed? She nodded. My eyes inadvertently traveled in the direction of a huge black musical tool inside the nook. If I remembered right, Mr. Menra said it belonged to his overdue grandfather, and become acceded down to his father, and then to him. Mr. Menra every so often performs it to entertain his clients. An concept got here to my mind. Shinna, could you want to listen a song? She seems on the black piano within the corner, the same instrument I'm looking at. Piano? I nodded and walked toward the piano. Mr. Menra, is it okay if I take advantage of this? Mr. Menra's eyes brightened at that. You do not want to ask. If it's you, you can play it each time you need. Your ramen's on the house these days. I have been looking to pay attention. You play it again for see you later. I just chuckled at him as I sat down in the front of the device. My mind went towards Shinna's artwork. When I checked out her painting, my skin tingled and felt my hairs stand up. It made me crushed. Not due to the fact I am scared of her expertise. It is due to the fact she made something hidden inside me resurface. Something I notion I've lengthy seeing that forgotten. My competitiveness. A rival. Her talent sent goosebumps all over my frame. That is a part of what I am seeking out. How thrilling! Very thrilling indeed. Shinna Mashiro, you are the maximum exciting character I have ever met in my complete existence. Sweat dripped down through my temple now, not of nervousness but one of anticipation. At that second, I never noticed the smile on my face. My thoughts turned into handiest filled with her and my response to her paintings. Now, permit me show it to you. Let me show you a piece of what I can do. I took a deep breath and centered on the instrument in front of me. With that, my hands pressed the keys. Ever due to the fact he was young, Menra changed into continuously praised by using anybody along with his skills in piano. He joined many contests and gained just as many awards. Suffice to say, he was proud of himself. Sadly, as he were given older, he progressively saw his limit. He saved playing, but he never progressed anymore. It wasn't that he sucked. He became in a nation of stagnation. Always in a standstill, unable to take a breakthrough. When he realized this, he stopped appearing in competitions, much to the dismay of many. Years later, he married his spouse who owned a ramen stall. Along with his undivided interest, their small ramen stall had gotten bigger until it was a store. Menra is sooner or later happy together with his existence. He were given a loving spouse, cute daughter, and a stable profits. He ought to ask for not anything extra. But then, no longer lengthy ago, a blonde-haired delinquent came to his shop and completed 10 bowls of ramen. He kept praising his meals, and to reveal his sincerity, he asked if he could play the piano. He did not realize what got here into his mind that day. He in no way permit others touch that instrument, but he allow him. While the blonde performed, his thoughts became blown away. That day, he ultimately knew what a real genius is. While he remembered those who praised him back in his youth, he only felt disgust for them. They're mere frogs within the bottom of a properly. They haven't visible a real genius. But while he heard his performance, he changed into utterly defeated. Their abilities have been too far apart that he wasn't even allowed to feel jealous. It really is how skilled he, Naruto Namikaze, is. But proper now, hearing him play again, he had briefly forgotten how to breathe. He felt his soul leave his body and dance along with his lead. He's like a marionette below the control of the puppeteer. He was 100 times better than the remaining time he performed. Genius? This is no longer a genius. Genius intended not anything to this man. In some way, he felt relieved that he quit gambling on expert level anymore. He's also happy that he become born a long time earlier than him. If he had been born in the identical technology as this delinquent, that would be so terrifying. Who is aware of what number of genius he had by accident destroyed together with his overwhelming expertise? Shinna's coronary heart began beating quicker than it had ever been earlier then. She felt the sector sluggish down as she heard him play a tune. It became a surreal experience that even though she knew nothing tons about track, even she can tell that he's in a league of his very own. She had by no means heard any such lovely song in her existence before this very second. Minutes exceeded, however, for those listening. It felt like hours to them. The blonde finally finished playing, a good deal to their dismay. Shinna. The blonde-haired girl heard him call out to her. My color is white. Now, not due to the fact I do not know what to do, but I am white because I am nothing. And because I'm nothing, I may be something. He gave a gentle but cheeky smile to her. Shinna did not realize why, however, at that second, she felt something peculiar in her chest. It felt excellent, yet on the equal time, unsightly. It becomes so very confusing, and she had no idea what this sense is. She will ask Ayano later. Approximately this dot. White. It smiles, a color that carries all coloration. I'm white due to the fact I may be any shade that I want. Because I may be any color that I need, I'm white. Shinna Mashiro. She's a odd but interesting lady. I will sense no. I know that she's going to purpose greater issues for me, but some way. I'm as an alternative searching forward for the destiny with her and Sakurasu. I take a look at this natural white woman and grin. This is pretty fun.